Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby. Today we're taking a look at the CURT Premium Four-Bike Carrier on our 2017 Toyota RAV4. Now right away, as you can see, this is a hanging style bike rack, and what's nice about this, we have a dual arm support system. That's always great because we're going to get a lot less play with our bikes going left and right across our frame compared to some of those single arm models. And if we look here, this nice tapered end is going to be great for us if we have any kiddos bikes we're going to fit on here. A lot of times those kid bikes, you have to buy a bike adapter bar that's going to actually allow you to use this 3-point system, but this being so tapered in can allow us to get our kids bikes on there, make it really easy without any extra adapters. If we take a look here too, these nice reflectors on the end are really nice, especially like we have here. We only have the one bike. Sometimes it's hard for people that are actually traveling behind us to see our bike rack, especially with it being black. So these are going to be quite nice, especially at night, just to alert the other drivers where our bike rack is. And taking a look at the cradles here, we have a nice rubber stripping system here. All these simply do, hook under, our bike gets put in place, we hook around, and you just simply go around that knob. Real easy to uninstall and get on and off. And if we look here at these grooves as well, we see we have a nice, just little kind of soft plastic here. Now, if you're looking for something that's really going to protect your bike frame as you get it on this bike rack, this may not be the best option for you. However, this soft plastic is still going to do a really good job. It's not going to be too harsh on your bike frames. Now, that being in mind, this is a hanging style bike rack. So we don't want to utilize it in any kind of carbon bikes. That will destroy our frame. It will hurt it, so you don't want to be doing that. But keep it in mind, with our capacity here, this bike rack weighs in at 180 pounds capacity. That's pretty high, especially when we start getting those kiddo bikes. They're not going to be high in the weight capacity as well. So maybe we have a couple bigger bikes on the front end here. It's going to do the job quite nicely. So let's see if we can get this off and see how easy it is to get on and off. Again, as we talked about, those rubber strippings, all we simply have to do is pop them right off. And of course, pulling down the opposite way is going to make that a little easier, getting those strips out of the way. And it moves down to our nice anti-sway cradle here. A thing to keep in mind with these hanging style, you're going to get a lot of sway back and forth between these bikes. Innately, you're going to have a little bit, but this anti-sway is hopefully going to reduce that as you go down the road. So all we simply do, repeat the process, get that out of the way, walk to the front of our mast, place both hands, and gently walk it off our rack. Like we see, nice, simple, easy, not too much hassle. You know, some of those platform racks, you got to move those up and down all the time. These can get a little cumbersome and in the way, but as long as you're keeping those straps down, it won't be too much of a problem. Now, with any hitch mount accessory, we are going to add length to our vehicle, so it's important to keep that in mind. So let's take a quick look here and see how much it actually adds. So going from the rear of our bumper here to the end of our mast, and with a little movie magic, I know that it's about 39.5 inches from the rear of our vehicle. Now that can get a little weighty, you know. We do have a little bit of length here, especially in our RAV4. It's not too long of a vehicle, but when we start wanting to get into tighter spaces, whether it be garages, parking, once we got to the trailhead, it can be nice to actually reduce our length. So we have a nice little system up here. All it is, simple little spring clip on a pin. All we do, pull that off the back here, get that spring clip out of the way, support our mast, and gently pull that pin out. And as you can see, it's going to go right back into place, and we can even reinsert this pin right away. It might take a little maneuvering. Just play with that mast going left and right, and it'll find its way right back in. And that hitch pin can go right back in place. It'll be good for if we want to store this in the garage, or like you said, just at parking at the trailhead. It'll be really nice. Cool thing about the RAV4, we have a lot of cargo space in the back that we want to access. However, with our mast in the current position, we can't do that. So if we move on down here, we actually have a 3-point system here. We're simply going to want to loosen this bad boy in the back just a little bit here. We have this pin. It has a little pin coupler in the back. Pull that out. Take this guy off. And this safety cable is pretty nice. We can just lower it to the ground. Keep this in your back pocket for sure. And simply pull that lever up and gently lower our mast. And as you can see, we have ample clearage to open our hatch, access anything we want, coolers, kiddos' helmets, whatever we need. Especially utilizing that back space in the RAV4 is quite nice, so it's something to keep in mind. And all we simply have to do, walk this back up, push that lever back into place, replace our pin, and again, you might have to play with the mast just a little bit here to actually get it to fit in. And it might be easier to do with a second pair of eyes, or actually going from the angle that you're looking at it from. And as we see here, with just a little finagling, we'll get her back in place. Be sure to place your coupler pin as well, That's going to make sure it's secured as you go down, and just tighten that back knob just to make sure we're having a little less rattle as we go down the road. And another important measure to keep in mind is our clearance to the bottom of the road or wherever we're going. So it's important to keep that in mind. And as you see here, we have about 11 3/4 to the end of our shank here. So that's going to be quite nice. Again, you're already playing with a little low clearance there. It's definitely nothing too crazy. Just be careful you're going over any very steep terrain, steep driveways. It could be a thing to keep in mind. Moving down the hitch, we actually have a nice little anti-rattle pin in here. And this is going to just reduce the wobble that we're going to feel as we go down the road. And of course, we're going to be in line with our hitch. That means we're not going to be feeling it as much. It's going to be in line with our frame of our vehicle. Our bikes won't feel it as much, just better overall. Well, I think that's pretty awesome. Again, the tilting feature of this is always so nice. The thing I really like about this is the tapered arms. A lot of people, when they're trying to get their kids on the bikes as well, those bike adapters can be something that's easy to lose. Another thing you have to purchase. So with this just being included, it's quite nice that it's ready and be able to go for you. The rubber stripping makes it really easy to get those bikes on and off and makes the hassle way less. Anyways, I think that about does it for our look at our CURT Premium Four-Bike Carrier on our 2017 Toyota RAV4. Thank you for joining us.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.